아침에 일어나며 마음속 깊이 앉아오고 있는 또 다른 나에게 질문한다. 이 질문은 어제를 버리고 오늘을 시작하는 첫 관문이며 오늘 하루를 후회 없이 살기 위한 결심이다. When I wake up in the morning, I ask a question to the other self deep inside my mind. This question is the first key to starting today, letting go of yesterday, and making a determination to live today without regret. Every morning when I wake up, I ask myself a question that sets the tone for the day ahead. The question is an opportunity for me to let go of any negative thoughts or regrets from the past and focus on the present moment. It's a chance for me to connect with my inner self and determine how I want to approach the day ahead. By asking this question, I'm making conscious decision to live in the present and embrace the opportunities and challenges that come my way. It helps me to be more mindful and intentional in my actions and to avoid getting caught up in worries about the future or dwelling on mistakes from the past. Overall, this daily practice of asking myself a question helps me start each day with a positive mindset and a clear sense of the purpose, which in turn allows me to live each day to the fullest without any regrets. 나는 내가 열망하는 나 자신을 가지고 있는가? 나는 나를 위해 의식적으로 수련했는가? 어제 나를 유기하고 새로운 나를 만들기 위해 용감하게 행동했는가? 오늘이라는 시간이 어김없이 흘러 밤이 되면 나는 좀 더 나은 내가 되어 있는가? Do I have a version of myself that I aspire to be? Have I consciously practiced and trained myself for my own sake? Have I been brave enough to let go of the past and create a new version of myself? And as the day inevitably turns into the night, am I becoming a better version of myself? 일상은 휘몰아치는 소용돌이와 같아서 정신을 차리지 않으면 순식간에 나를 삼켜버린다. 스스로를 정비하지 않으면 우리는 분명 야속한 세월을 원망할 것이다. Daily life is like raging whirlwind that can swallow me up to an instant if I don't stay alert. If I don't take care of myself, we will undoubtedly regret the passing of time, okay? The pace of daily life can often be overwhelming, with endless tasks and responsibility vying for our attention. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos and lose sight of ourselves in the process. If we are not careful, we can find ourselves swept up in the current of the time with nothing to show for it but regret. To avoid this fate, we must stay alert and take care of ourselves. This means craving out time for self-reflection, practicing self-care, and setting clear boundaries around our time and energy. Setting clear boundaries around our time and energy. It means being intentional about how we spend our days and making conscious choices that align with our values and goals. When we take the time to prioritize our own well-being, we are better equipped to navigate the challenges and the demands of the daily life. We are more resilient in the face of stress, more creative in our problem solving, and more fulfilled in our relationships with the pursuits. So even in the midst of the swirling whirlwind of everyday life, we can find moments of calm and clarify by staying grounded in ourselves and our priorities. 오늘도 나와 상관없는 복잡한 일들이 소용돌이처럼 우리를 잡아당긴다. 그 소용돌이에 휘말리지 않으려면 그 거센 움직임보다 더 강력한 힘이 필요하다. 그것이 바로 나 자신이라는 단단한 바위다. Today, just like any other day, there are countless complicated matters that don't directly involve us, but still put us in the like a whirlpool. To avoid getting caught up in their whirlpool, we need a force stronger than its violent movements. That force is a solid rock of ourselves, the version of ourselves we aspire to be. When we have a clear understanding of who we are and what we stand for, we become less susceptible to the distractions and demands of everyday life. We are better equipped to make conscious choices that are aligned with our values and goals, and less likely to be swayed by external pressures or temptations. In this way, the rock of ourselves become a source of strength and stability in the midst of life's chaos. It helps us to stay grounded and focused, even as the world around us spins and shifts. And we face challenges or setbacks, we can draw on that inner strength to preserve and overcome. 나 자신은 자신을 객관적으로 지속적으로 관찰할 때 등장한다. 그런 날이 오면 나는 나를 멀리서 보는 목격자가 된다. 나는 스스로 희고하고 열망한 원래의 내 안에 평온하게 거주하고 있는 나의 모습을 본다. The version of ourselves that we aspire to be, our true selves, emerges when we observe ourselves objectively and continuously. On those days, we become witnesses to ourselves, seeing ourselves from a distance. We see the peaceful version of ourselves residing within, the one we've been striving for and longing to become. Observing ourselves objectively means taking a step back from our thoughts and emotions and examining them from the neutral perspective. Instead of getting caught up in our own narrative, we become curious observers of our own experiences. This self-awareness allows us to gain insight into our motivations, biases, and the patterns of behavior, and helps us identify areas for growth and development. Continuous self-observation requires a commitment to self-reflection and introspection. Yes, we must be willing to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and to be open to making changes as necessary. This ongoing process of self-discovery and self-improvement helps us to become more authentic and aligned with our true selves, and ultimately leads to the greater sense of fulfillment and purpose in our lives. Beautiful. 자기 자신의 습관으로부터 떨어져 나온 상태다. 그리고 자기 자신을 찾기 위해 자신의 심연으로 내려간 상태다. I'm in a state where I have separated myself from my habits and I have descended into my own abyss to find myself. I'm in a state where I have separated myself from my habits. It has made a conscious effort to break away from their usual patterns of behavior or routines. This could be because they felt that these habits were holding them back, or because they wanted to create a change in their life. The abyss refers to the speaker's innermost thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. The abyss refers to the speaker's innermost thoughts and emotions and beliefs. By descending into the abyss, the speaker is exploring their own psyche in order to gain a deeper understanding of themselves. This could involve reflecting on their past experiences, examining their values, or questioning their assumptions about the world. Overall, the sentence suggests that the speaker is undergoing a process of self-discovery and personal growth. By breaking away from the habits and exploring their innermost thoughts and feelings, they hope to gain a greater sense of clarity and purpose in their life. Beautiful. 자신의 과거와 결별하고 자신이 거하고 싶은 원대한 나. 자신의 자리에 침잠하는 능력이다. 나, 자신이라는 단단한 바위를 찾지 못한 사람들은 자신의 시선을 끊임없이 다른 사람에게로 향한다. It is the ability to break away from one's past and sink into the position of one's grandiose self, the rock solid self. People who cannot find their own solid self constantly turn their gaze to others. This sentence suggests that having a strong sense of self is important for personal growth and fulfillment. The phrase break away from one's past implies that the speaker has moved beyond any negative experiences or limiting beliefs that may have held them back in the past. This allows them to fully embrace their grandiose self, which is a term used to describe a person's idealized version of themselves. The phrase rock-solid self refers to a person who has a strong, unwavering sense of who they are and what they stand for. Yes, beautiful. This type of self-awareness allows a person to be confident in their decisions and actions without constantly seeking validation or approval from others. The sentence concludes by suggesting that people who have not yet found their own sense of self may be prone to looking to others for guidance or validation. This can be detrimental to person's growth, as it can lead to a lack of confidence and a sense of dependence on others. 선진개인은 자신을 관찰하는 사람이다. 후진개인은 시선을 남에게 고정해 부러워하고 시기한다. Yeah. Advanced individuals and those who observe themselves. Backward individuals fixate their gaze on others and envy them and feel jealousy. This sentence suggests that having a self-reflective and introspection nature. Self-reflective. This sentence suggests that having a self-reflective and introspective nature is a trait of advanced individuals. Such people are able to observe themselves objectively and reflect on their thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. This self-awareness allows them to identify areas for improvement and work towards personal growth and development. On the other hand, the sentence suggests that less advanced individuals tend to focus on their attention on others rather than themselves. They may feel envy or jealousy towards those who they perceive as being more successful or accomplished. This focus on external validation can be detrimental to personal growth and may prevent individuals from recognizing their own strengths and weaknesses. Overall, the sentence highlights the importance of self-awareness and introspection in personal growth and development. By focusing on oneself and observing one's own thoughts and behaviors, an individual can work towards becoming more advanced and fulfilled in their personal and professional lives. 자신에게 몰입하지 못하는 사람일수록 시선을 타인에게 고정한다. 맞아요. 자신에게 몰입하지 못하는 사람일수록 시선을 타인에게 고정한다. 이 시선은 두 가지의 파괴적인 감정을 초래한다. 바로 선망과 시기다. People who cannot immerse themselves in their own lives and tend to fixate their gaze on others. This gaze leads to two destructive emotions, admiration and jealousy. This sentence suggests that individuals who struggle with self-immersion and introspection may tend to focus their attention on others rather than themselves. This can be detrimental to personal growth and fulfillment, as it may prevent individuals from fully understanding and developing themselves. The sentence goes on to suggest that this fixation on others can lead to two negative emotions, admiration and jealousy. Admiration in the context refers to a sense of awe or wonder towards those who are perceived as being more successful or accomplished. Jealousy, on the other hand, refers to a sense of envy or resentment towards those who are perceived as having more than oneself. Both of these emotions can be destructive as they may prevent individuals from recognizing their own strengths and accomplishments. They can also lead to a sense of dissatisfaction with one's own life and lack of motivation to improve oneself. Overall, the sentence emphasizes the importance of self-immersion and introspection in personal growth and development. By focusing on oneself and working toward self-improvement, individuals can avoid destructive emotions and lead more fulfilling lives. Beautiful. 선망은 어느 순간에 이르면 단순한 부러움을 넘어 자기 자신의 고통으로 진화한다. 나 스스로가 행운과 안녕의 기준을 마련하지 못하면 다른 사람이 만든 행운과 안녕의 기준이 나 스스로가 행운과 안녕의 기준을 마련하지 못하면 다른 사람이 만든 행운과 안녕이 나의 기준이 될 수밖에 없다. 나 스스로가 행운과 안녕의 기준을 마련하지 못하면 다른 사람이 만든 행운과 안녕이 나의 기준이 될 수밖에 없다. At some point, admiration evolves from simple envy to one's own pain. If we do not establish our standards for happiness and peace, the happiness and peace created by others may become our standards. This sentence suggests that admiration or feeling of being impressed by or desiring something that someone else has can become a source of pain if it evolves beyond mere envy. This may occur when an individual fixates on what others have and begins to feel that they are lacking in comparison. The sentence goes on to suggest that if individuals do not establish their own standards for happiness and peace, they may begin to measure their own success and well-being based on what others have achieved. This can be problematic, as it may prevent individuals from recognizing their own strengths and accomplishments and may lead to a sense of dissatisfaction with their own lives. Overall, the sentence highlights the importance of establishing one's own standards and goals for personal fulfillment and happiness. By focusing on what is important to oneself, individuals can avoid becoming overly fixated on what others have and can work toward achieving their own sense of success and contentment. 선망이 깊어지면 남과 비교함으로써 나의 삶이 불행하다고 느낄 뿐만 아니라 다른 사람에게도 불행이 닥치기를 원하는 부정적인 마음이 싹 튼다. When admiration deepens, not only do we feel that our own lives are unhappy compared to others, but we also cultivate negative feelings that wish unhappiness on others. The sentence suggests that their admiration intensifies. Individuals may begin to feel that their own lives are lacking in comparison to others. This may lead to a sense of unhappiness and dissatisfaction with one's own life. The sentence goes on to suggest that this fixation on others can also lead to negative emotions, such as jealousy and a desire for others to experience misfortune. This can be harmful not only to oneself but also to others, as it may lead to a sense of resentment and animosity towards those who are perceived as more successful or fortunate. Overall, the sentence highlights the potential negative consequences of excessive admiration and comparison to others. By focusing on what is important to oneself and cultivating a sense of gratitude for what one has, individual can avoid these negative emotions and lead more fulfilling lives. Yes, beautiful. 그들은 남을 흉내내고 시기하라고 욕하는 강력한 소용돌이 속에서도 완벽한 상냥함과 내적인 고동을 유지한다. 그들은 누구를 시기하거나 질투하지도 않았다. 그들의 선망의 대상은 오늘 저녁에 완성될 더 위대한 나 자신이기 때문이다. They maintain the perfect kindness and internal loneliness, even in the powerful whirlwind that tempts others to imitate and envy. They do not envy or be jealous of anyone. The object of their admiration is the greater me that will be completed tonight. The sentence is describing a group of people who remain kind and internally isolated, even in an environment where others are constantly imitating and competing with each other. The phrase powerful whirlwind is a metaphor that describes the intense pressure to succeed and the strong temptation to imitate others in order to do so. Despite this pressure, the people being described maintain a sense of internal peace and kindness towards others. The sentence also mentions that these people do not envy or feel jealousy towards anyone, which suggests that they are content with themselves and their own path in life. Instead, they aspire towards and become a greater me, a version of themselves that is even better than who they are currently. Overall, the sentence seems to be conveying a message about the importance of staying true to oneself and focusing on personal growth rather than getting caught up in the competition with others.